The advanced xenobiology classroom fell into its usual hushed reverence as Professor Kellyan activated the holographic display. 23 species from across the galactic consortium sat in carefully arranged pods, each designed to accommodate their unique physiological requirements. The morning's lesson focused on extinct civilizations, a somber reminder of how quickly even the mightiest empires could fall. The hegemony of Krex, Professor Kellyan began, his 4 arms gesturing toward the rotating image of a crystalline world, ruled 47 systems for over 3 millennia. Military might unparalleled, technology that bent space itself to their will. Yet they vanished in less than 2 standard years. Murmurs rippled through the class. The Valkyrian delegation clicked their mandibles nervously while the gas-form ethereals pulsed with anxious energy. Everyone knew this story, but hearing it again never failed to unsettle them. The Ashaki Collective, the professor continued, masters of biological warfare. They could remake entire biospheres in weeks. Gone in 18 months. More uncomfortable shifting. The hologram cycled through image after image, the void dancers with their reality-warping technology, the silicon hierarchies with their planet-sized computational matrices, the psionic dominion that could control minds across star systems. All extinct. All destroyed by the same enemy. Lieutenant Reeves sat in the back corner, the only human in a class of 200 aliens. Her dress uniform stood out starkly against the exotic forms surrounding her, simple, functional, almost primitive by galactic standards. She'd been attending these lectures for 3 weeks now, part of the new cultural exchange program between Earth and the consortium. Now, Professor Kellyan said, his voice taking on that particular tone educators used when approaching sensitive topics, we must address the phenomenon that ended these civilizations. The species that appeared from the galactic rim approximately 47 years ago. The silence was absolute now. Even the ethereals had stopped their constant shimmering. Humans. The word hung in the air like a weapon. Several students unconsciously moved away from Lieutenant Reeves, who remained perfectly still, her expression neutral. They emerged from a system we had dismissed as uninhabitable. No advanced technology, no space-bending capabilities, no hive mind or collective consciousness. By all our models, they should have remained trapped on their homeworld for centuries more. The hologram shifted to show Earth, blue and green and achingly beautiful in its simplicity. Instead, they spread across the galaxy like a plague. Every attempt at diplomacy failed. Every show of force was met with escalated violence. Within 5 decades, 17 major civilizations had fallen to their expansion. A young Zephyrian raised one of her tentacles. Professor, surely their technology must have been inferior, Kellyan interrupted. Laughably so. Their ships were crude metal constructs using chemical propulsion. Their weapons fired simple projectiles. Their bodies were fragile, short-lived, limited to a single form. Then how? The question came from a Corvin student, his rocky hide scraping against his pod. How did they destroy civilizations that had mastered the fundamental forces? Professor Kellyan paused, his expression troubled. We still don't fully understand. Our best xenopsychologists theorize it's something in their evolutionary psychology. They seem to possess an almost pathological resistance to surrender, combined with an alarming capacity for violence and adaptation. The class had grown so quiet that the hum of the life support system seemed deafening. Students exchanged nervous glances, many stealing looks at the human in their midst. Then, from the back of the room, Lieutenant Reeves spoke for the first time since the semester began. What's the kill ratio for a single Earth Marine? The question cut through the silence like a blade. Professor Kellyan's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, his mouth opening and closing without sound. I don't understand the question, Lieutenant. Reeves leaned forward slightly, her voice conversational, almost friendly. In the battles you've described. The fall of the Krex hegemony, the Ashaki Collective, all the others. What was the average number of enemy combatants killed per individual human soldier? The professor's skin had turned a pale shade of blue. Around the classroom, students were beginning to show signs of distress, the Valkyrians' mandibles chattering uncontrollably, the ethereals contracting into tight balls of light. The records from those conflicts are classified. Ballpark figure? Professor Kellyan looked around the room as if seeking an escape route. His voice, when it finally came, was barely a whisper. Approximately 3,000 to 1. Lieutenant Reeves nodded once, as if the number confirmed something she already knew. Then she smiled, an expression that somehow managed to be both warm and terrifying. "That's about average," she said. The class remained silent for the rest of the period.